Connecticut Voice Out Loud is proudly sponsored by Middlesex Health and Foxwoods Resort Casino.
Hi, and welcome back to the second season of Connecticut Voice Out Loud. I'm Hillary Russo. Today we're coming to you from Cine Studio, which is celebrating its 50th year of being an LGBTQ-friendly nonprofit cinema on the beautiful campus of Trinity College here in Hartford. If you're new to our show, our focus is on sharing inspiring stories from people all across the state who are part of the LGBTQ+ community. And whether you're part of the community yourself or an ally, Connecticut Voice Out Loud is here to not only touch, move, and inspire, but raise awareness through storytelling. Our first story begins on that road towards healthy living. We've all heard that saying, no pain, no gain. But getting in shape can be an intimidating experience, especially when you're transgender. Dawn Ennis takes us to one Manchester gym that's doing some heavy lifting to ensure everyone feels welcome.
Kristen and Colleen Mastriani own Move Strong Gym here in Manchester. They're a lesbian couple, and they say their gym is a no judgment gym because nobody wants to be judged when they're working out. You told Jane Lattice that it's very important that you be out to your clients because if you get judged by them, then they're gonna judge anybody. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I just want a community where everybody just supports everybody else. So I just assume that I'm kind of the first line. So if somebody has an issue with me, then they're likely gonna, have an issue with somebody else for God knows what reason. I cater to people that want to be strong, that want to work hard, that don't want to have pain, that a lot of those kind of things. So it's just everybody that comes in here is treated like a human being, like nobody's different than anybody else, and that's just kind of the way it is. I have a group in the morning, a group in the evening, and there's one guy and a bunch of women and another guy and a bunch of women, and he's treated the same, and he looks at them like they're monsters, like that they do all the, and he goes around and they tell, like, you should see what the girls at my gym do, so it's just like, all in all, it's just a really supportive, like, nobody cares here. Like, nobody cares what you do. Like, it's just support each other.
Well, I mean, I met Kristen, like I said, in middle school, so I can't say that it was love at first sight at that point. We did a process called shared conception, which when we went to the CARS, the Center for Advanced Reproductive Services, they had a bunch of different options that you could do, and this one kind of struck us because it was really important that we both played a role in it. And what shared conception is it's one of the partners' eggs that are used, while the other partner is the one who actually carries the baby and brings it to conception.
I just think that there just needs to be just more kindness in the world, and if we can contribute to creating a human that's, down to earth and kind to others, and just kind of, bring it back, start kicking it old school again, that would be awesome. And we're pretty adventurous people. We snowboard, we hike, I skateboard and surf, and we do all sorts of, she's an artist, we just do a lot of cool stuff, and I just think that, I don't know, if I was a kid, I'd probably want to be doing this stuff too.
She just wants everybody to be safe and strong. Colleen's freakishly strong at baseline, so I didn't have any problem with her continuing, and I think everybody should be active during pregnancy. A lot of times at the beginning of pregnancy, you have people who have had a lot of unhealthy behaviors, and all of a sudden they get religion. So I think they need to be careful, and they need to work with somebody like Kristen who's going to make sure that they're safe.
Exercise counteracts muscle loss from the aging process. It not only builds physical health, but mental health as well. It contributes to happiness. That's especially important to transgender women like me. Carly, what are you doing out here? You're training for something? You running? What is this?
Well, I've got a few races coming up. I just got off one. I recently did the Hartford Half Marathon. It was fun. It was pretty fast. It hurt, but it was worth it. I love running. I love cycling. I love compete. I love being in sports. I played softball this past spring. I enjoy sports. Sports is my life.
When you've worked out in the gym, what's happened there? Have you found that people accept you as a woman?
I found it's really uncomfortable, and right now, with a few exceptions, I kind of avoid the gyms.
Why is that?
Now because just the chance of something going awry is something I worry about. I mean, you have to vet workout places.
Couldn't you just go work out as a man in the men's gym?
Why? I don't do anything quote unquote as a man and haven't for quite some time. Why do I need to be something other than what I am just to do what I love doing? And also keeping myself fit and keeping myself in shape. To me, it's all part of the same system. It's all life. I mean, I didn't give up the things I love to do. And I'm certainly not giving up the things I love to do because I had to go and pursue my truth. That's what this comes down to for me. Working out, playing sports, competing, those things are a part of me. It's like, it's like oxygen to me. How can I give those back? How can I not do things that I love just because I decided it's time to be who I am and it's time to pursue your truth? You can't do that. That would be like cutting off my right arm.
For Connecticut Voice Out Loud, I'm Dawn Ennis.
As Connecticut's first Mayo Clinic Care Network member, we're bringing the world's most advanced treatments, knowledge, and research much closer to home for you. Middlesex Health, the smarter choice for care. At Middlesex Health, we're doing more to make healthcare better for you, with more personal attention to get you back to your best, and more of today's most innovative, life-saving treatments. We're bringing more second chances to communities throughout central Connecticut and the shoreline, and finding more ways to treat every member of your family like a member of ours. Together, it all adds up to the new Middlesex Health, today's smarter choice for care.
Connecticut's newest sensation is CT Voice, giving a voice to the LGBTQ community with CT Voice magazine, digital, social, and now CT Voice Out Loud television show. This is style, hot topics, and personal stories from award-winning writers every season. Go to ctvoice.com.
One place is stepping in to make the dream of parenthood come true. Ashley Cole takes us to one Farmington clinic that's making a difference.
Connecticut Voice Out Loud headed to the Center for Advanced Reproductive Services in Connecticut to find out how they're making families' dreams come true every day.
Well, I always say that I feel really fortunate as having had a business degree and a business background to find a career that's really become a vocation, where every day I get to apply what I know about business to the healthcare of helping people to build families. And 20 years later, how people define families and what families look like are very different than what we typically saw in 1999. I mean, one of the things that we really are proud of and love to be a part of are having people come in, whether they are LGBTQ or single straight people or heterosexual couples, and tell us what their vision of a family looks like, so that we can then walk through with them what viable clinical options are available to them.
Maybe there's some hesitation. There's couples out there who aren't sure. They're not sure, they're scared, they're intimidated. What would you say to them?
Well, I would say that knowledge is power. And I think that it is a truthful statement that the LGBTQ community has oftentimes felt marginalized with regard to healthcare. And I can assure everyone that the Center for Advanced Reproductive Services is a very friendly place for all people. We are really proud that we have been at the forefront of treating LGBTQ people since, I think, the earliest inseminations were occurring in 1983.
If you were to give an overview, what can they expect?
Well, the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to sit with a doctor, and the doctor is going to ask them, what does a family look like to you? What are the important elements to you? So, for instance, if it is a lesbian couple, sometimes it's as simple as donor sperm with insemination, which is a very low-tech procedure that can happen. Other times they want to do something which we call as shared conception, where one of the female partners is providing the eggs. They're going to have a donor's sperm source, and then we're going to create embryos, and the second partner will carry the embryos. So the partner carrying does not have a genetic relationship to the embryo and the child that she will give birth to, but she has a real strong biological connection.
Absolutely.
So both parts of the couple feel really involved. Another recent development over the last few years is the evolution of transgender care. And we have for years treated adult transgender people, but now we're actually seeing more and more adolescents who are coming in with their parents and want information about fertility preservation as part of their journey.
How do you keep yourself present in the community?
Well, one of the things that we try to do, especially with the LGBTQ community, is go to them. And so to go to people where they're most comfortable. So to that end, we've partnered with the New Haven Pride Center. We were a sponsor of New Haven Gay Pride. And so by having a presence in those areas, we're able to get patients the information and access that they need.
For more information on the Center for Advanced Reproductive Services, you can visit them online at yukonfertility.com.
At Middlesex Health, we're doing more to make healthcare better for you, with more personal attention to get you back to your best, and more of today's most innovative, life-saving treatments. We're bringing more second chances to communities throughout central Connecticut and the shoreline, and finding more ways to treat every member of your family like a member of ours. Together, it all adds up to the new Middlesex Health, today's smarter choice for care.
Where do you go for the latest in the LGBTQIA+ community? Connecticut's newest sensation is CT Voice, in print and online. This is style, fashion, hot topics, and personal stories from award-winning writers every season. Go to ctvoice.com and order your copy of Connecticut Voice Out Loud Quarterly Magazine. Personal stories, dining out, places to meet, culture, the arts, it's all in Connecticut Voice Out Loud. Connecticut's only LGBTQ television show and quarterly print magazine. Go to ctvoice.com and follow us on social media.
Welcome back to Connecticut Voice Out Loud. When it comes to beauty, Will Dowdy is no stranger to hair and makeup. But even with his incredible resume of work, there's more to this warrior of wigs and master of makeup. Sarah Lemire caught up with the designer in Bridgeport, where the true transformation of Will Beauty happens, for a day in the life of drag.
So Will, talk to me about how you got your start doing Will Beauty.
Yeah, so I've worked as a makeup artist and wig designer around Connecticut and New York pretty much since I graduated college. I did a lot of theater, a lot of performing in high school and college, and I've always loved makeup and beauty and hair and stuff like that. So while I was in college, I was doing productions and I started watching the show RuPaul's Drag Race. And that really sparked my interest in drag, and I started exploring that. So once I graduated college, I interned at the Juilliard School for wigs and makeup, one of their 2 interns, among many other backstage internships that they do. So I was really able to explore wigs in a theatrical aspect. I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. I listed a couple of wigs, and people started placing their orders, and I went from having maybe 1 or 2 orders per week to 1 to 2 orders a day, and now I get, over 100 orders a month. I've shipped wigs to Tokyo and to Saudi Arabia. I've shipped wigs to really remote islands off of New Zealand. So I really don't get to see a lot of my clientele face to face. I interact with a lot of them through Instagram, and they'll tag me in their photos when they're wearing my wigs, or they'll message me with their photos, or just say, oh, it was such a great wig. I've always loved social media, and I attribute that to so much of my success with my business. I started on YouTube doing makeup tutorials on just different makeup looks, and then that sort of evolved with me. I started doing the makeup before I even really started doing the drag, so I was just putting makeup on and showing people different tips and tricks I was learning along the way, very much like a DIY kind of setting. And then as I started doing drag, I started doing tutorials on how to do drag, and then that slowly all evolved. Now I do tutorials on drag wigs, how to style my wigs, how to style other wigs, how to put yourself in drag, certain really specific things like covering your eyebrows and how to do eyeshadow and stuff like that.
From beginning to end, it looks like the transformation must probably take hours.
It takes a long time, and it really takes a long time at first while you're discovering your look and your face, because the style of makeup, you're really transforming your face. You're changing the structure, and you're highlighting and contouring, and you're maybe hiding your jawline and minimizing your forehead. So At first, it takes a long time. It used to take me like 4 hours, and now I can do it like under like an hour and a half.
So from doing makeup videos, you transitioned into doing more wigs, and now you have this thriving business. Can you talk to me a little bit about what people don't understand about wearing a wig?
Sometimes people with hair loss reach out, and that's always really nice when I'm able to help someone with alopecia, or maybe like a cancer survivor or someone dealing with cancer. Being able to help someone out with that is always really validating and fulfilling too. A big part of my performing and my drag persona is through social media, where I kind of feel like I'm like a drag stylist, and I like help people figure out how to find their style, whether it's makeup or hair or costumes or anything like that. But I do perform around Connecticut at various gay bars, LGBT spaces. I've performed at Pride in the Park in Norwalk. I used to do a bingo night. So it really just kind of depends the time of year. Coming up at the end of September, there's this show called Drag Diva Brunch, and it happens around the country, and it's organized by a previous contestant from RuPaul's Drag Race. And they do this in like Texas and Philly, and like I think there's 7 or 8 other locations in the country. So they're bringing it to Connecticut, and then I'll be doing that monthly in at the Toyota Oakdale Theater. So one of the best ways to get a hold of me is on Instagram. My handle is @ShopWillBeauty. There you'll find links to my website, shopwillbeauty.com, and Halloween's coming up, so if you need a Halloween wig or anything like that, I definitely say place your order ASAP.
When it comes to physical therapy, pelvic health is one area that is usually overlooked by patients, especially within the transgender community. But one physical therapist and her team are doing their part to take a more holistic approach to what is called integrative manual therapy. Here's more on that story.
We're going to tie the TheraBand around just like you've been doing at home. How has it been going for you?
Really well.
Great.
It's just another day of physical therapy for Lillian Maisfeld. As a transgender woman, the kind of work she's doing during her visit was at one point the furthest from her mind. Maisfeld underwent gender confirmation surgery in 2018. It was then her doctors suggested pelvic health therapy to help with her healing.
What I found is, coming out of the surgery, all of a sudden, everything is brand new. Everything literally feels like it's in the wrong place because the parts are in different places than they were when you went in.
That's where physical therapist Lisa Gramlich stepped in. She's head of the pelvic health program at Middlesex, a program that started 9 years ago by Gramlich's mentor and friend, Carolyn Daniels. And once Gramlich joined Daniels, she knew she found a home. She says her focus is on the whole person by using a modality called integrative manual therapy, or IMT.
It takes you within the context of treating someone as an emotional, spiritual, and physical human being, because no injury or problem is just physical. There's always an emotional and spiritual component to it as well.
This approach also creates a safe space for patients to open up and talk about their concerns, from constipation and incontinence to intimacy pain and even gender confirmation surgeries like Maisfeld's. And for the transgender community, this trusting space is a passion for Gramlich.
While many areas of pelvic health treatment are the same, it's not uncommon for the LGBTQ+ community to overlook this area of care. But Gramlich and her physical therapy team take a more holistic approach with hopes of breaking the barrier between practitioner and patient.
I have been in situations myself with physicians where I have been asked inappropriate questions, and I don't think I wouldn't have got that when I was married to a man, but being openly gay, I get those questions. So I can completely empathize with patients who come in who are LGBTQ+, and I think it creates a comfort level.
There is a kind of alone in the wilderness feeling that being able to come and do the pelvic health work physically also was a way of kind of making for a whole recovery that was less about something is wrong with you and needs to be fixed and more about your body is progressing through its process and you'll get there.
You're watching Connecticut Voice Out Loud, the first and only TV show in the state focusing on the LGBTQ+ community and the inspiring stories they share. Only on WCTX MyTV9, New Haven.
As Connecticut's first Mayo Clinic Care Network member, we're bringing the world's most advanced treatments, knowledge, and research much closer to home for you. Middlesex Health, the smarter choice for care. At Middlesex Health, we're doing more to make healthcare better for you, with more personal attention to get you back to your best. And more of today's most innovative, life-saving treatments. We're bringing more second chances to communities throughout central Connecticut and the shoreline. And finding more ways to treat every member of your family like a member of ours. Together, it all adds up to the new Middlesex Health, today's smarter choice for care.
Connecticut's newest sensation is CT Voice, giving a voice to the LGBTQ community with CT Voice magazine, digital, social, and now CT Voice Out Loud television show. This is style, hot topics, and personal stories from award-winning writers every season. Go to ctvoice.com.
If you know Carolyn Kwan, you know she's anything but ordinary. Ashley Cole caught up with the edgy Hartford Symphony conductor who shares more about embracing herself and her passion for music.
So Carolyn, we got you out of the theater space, out of the performance venue. We want to find out who you are at your core, a little more about you.
Yeah. I'm a very private person, surprisingly. You know, as an artist, you think about, you can't help but to let the world affect you. And you try to think about what can you do to help? What can you do to make a difference somehow? And so our 1920 season, when we were thinking about it, I wanted to be about joy. Because, you know, there's so much negativity in the world right now. I just want people to be able to come to the symphony and be able to, for the 2 hours that you're with us, just forget that for a minute. This, you know, I want the Hartford Symphony to be a, I have a hard time saying this word, oasis? Oasis.
Perfect, oasis.
Oasis. And where people can just be and come and enjoy the joy of music. And it doesn't matter who sits next to you. It could be someone who's completely different. It could be someone who believes in completely different thing. It doesn't matter, but no matter how different we are, we can all sit in that room sitting next to each other and enjoy the joy of music for 2 hours. And that we really have, sometimes people don't realize we have more in common than we have that are things that are different. You know, I often think that if more people listen to music, the world will be a better place, because at least we're sending more positivity in the world as opposed to negativity. As a child, I've always been that child that my parents are so smart. They know that if they want me to go east, they have to tell me to go west.
A little rebellious.
Right, exactly, very rebellious. I think I started, I don't know if I might have mentioned this once in a while, not very often, but as a child, I think it was 3rd grade, I literally started a bad girls club or something. You know, it's just this idea that I don't want to be told what to do. Like the way where we are, I mean, people often talk about going to different countries, seeing different places, and having different experiences. And for me, that's what music is about. It's about new emotions, new experiences, you know, allowing yourself to go to places and trying new things that you never thought you might like. And, you know, the one big thing I often tell people is, you know, people expect to go to a concert and they worry that they're not going to like something. And my response is always, it's great if you don't like something. It's wonderful because you've experienced it and you can talk about why you like it and why you don't like it. I think it's just the idea that I would like to, in my small way, try to make a difference somehow. And at the moment, it's through music. It's hopefully, you know, sharing music with young people, you know, giving them that option of appreciating music, learning how to have joy in their lives through music. I don't know what it will always be. I mean, there's certainly a lot of things in the world that needs us. You know, oftentimes I feel like maybe I should spend more time working for LGBTQIA rights. You know, we have a lot of friends who are in the transgender community, and they have such a hard time right now. You know, the world seems to be changing for the better, but not fast enough.
Yeah.
And sometimes it feels like you take one step forward and take two steps back. And that being immigrant, being foreign, and this constant attack on honesty, morality, you just feel like, God, should I be spending my time doing something else that can make more of a difference?
You've already left a legacy that's so beautiful. It's been so
Thank
wonderful talking with you. Really, you're amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
At Middlesex Health, we're doing more to make healthcare better for you, with more personal attention to get you back to your best. And more of today's most innovative, life-saving treatments. We're bringing more second chances to communities throughout central Connecticut and the shoreline. And finding more ways to treat every member of your family like a member of ours. Together, it all adds up to the new Middlesex Health, today's smarter choice for care.
Connecticut's newest sensation is CT Voice, giving a voice to the LGBTQ community with CT Voice magazine, digital, social, and now CT Voice Out Loud television show. This is style, hot topics, and personal stories from award-winning writers every season. Go to ctvoice.com.
As Connecticut's first Mayo Clinic Care Network member, we're bringing the world's most advanced treatments, knowledge, and research much closer to home for you. Middlesex Health, the smarter choice for care.
Now, from the screen to the stage, we leave you now with a few moments from Stand Up, the anti-bullying musical, a performance out of Sandy Hook that's paving the way for more empathy and connection through the arts. Until next time, I'm Hillary Russo. Be well.
Stand Up and Speak Out is a wonderful platform that helps children to literally be able to do that, to stand up and speak out and to connect with one another and to really voice their truths.
I am just so honored to be a part of the show and to be able to meet all these amazingly talented people. It has impacted my life so much.
Thankfully, I haven't experienced bullying that has really gotten to me, but I think it really made me realize why people bully and made me realize, even things, that I do that could be mean or something.
It's spreading love and humility. If we at least continue to send the message of love and hope, then I think that's a great thing, and that's what this play does.
I remember leaving yesterday and somebody telling me how much this touches lives and my part and how it really makes people cry and how it touches them. And I love hearing that because it makes me feel like I really just changed somebody's life.
Jill Nessie came up with the idea of a song about anti-bullying. She has teenagers of her own. And that song has grown into a musical. I'd like to introduce the group called Stand Up and Speak Out. They have a message for you today.